All right, so today I want to tell a little story, talk a little more about rambling about Japan. So, I made that recent video how Japan is kind of interesting in that maybe at face value, they seem so nice, right? And legitimately, there are things in Japan that are maybe when you see people, it is probably nicer than another country. But on other things, little courtesies, that you get in other countries, you might not have in Japan. Like you don't really see people hold open doors for anybody, anything like that. But I mean, customer service is amazing. There's certainly some things that are nice, but then again, look at that examples of I don't see people helping people across the street. You know what I mean? When they legitimately need it. I've seen, I think I saw one time in all the months that I've been in Japan where someone looked like they were, not doing well, and I saw someone try to help them, right? But that person, look at that story, the person legitimately collapsed on the train. 4 people stood up on the train to help the person. One was including me. The rest just watched them. But, so, kind of like the vibe, what I'm getting at is Japan is kind of crazy that you see so much nice stuff. But maybe in a way, it shows that even when you can see so much niceness, you see that people don't truly care about each other, right? Even though there's all this like omoyari and gaman sort of thing, like it kind of like, collides in a sort of clusterfuck that makes people not actually feel true empathy, maybe in a way. So I'm rambling. I guess watch those videos, but what I'm getting at is people not having real friends. So if you recall, sometimes I'll hang out in the red light district, you know what I mean? And I just like walking all around, people watching. Hell, I was, just going up to down the park over there. I was talking to this grandma, you know what I mean? Just trying to make friends with different people. So started talking to this grandma, blah, blah, blah. But so say the red light district is why I'm going to talk about this. So eventually last year when I was here, I sort of made friends with some people, right? Or, well, quotation marks, friends, right? They came up to me, they're like, what are you doing here? You're like, dude, you probably get, you should be fucking all these other girls, right? Or, originally they're like, can you speak Japanese? And I'm like, a little bit, you know what I mean? So we would communicate in broken Japanese and, vice versa, that kind of thing. So there was this one guy, right, that I used to talk to. His name was, maybe I shouldn't say his name in case there's a chance that he ever sees this. And in case it puts him in a bad light, I don't know. Maybe he has a bad rap, what I'm getting at. So anyway, he was a friendly dude, and we talked many times. And he, we also talked about the rules of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. You know what I mean? And his English was also pretty good, so we could also converse in some English as well. So anyway, point is, that dude was always hanging around there, and he had like the same group of friends, and that whole area is kind of interesting too, because you see people like the hookers are on one side of the street or something like that, right? And then when they're not working, they'll be on the other side of the street, and then they're like friends with everybody. They're fucking around, they're joking around, and it's like a weird kind of atmosphere to like just see like, oh hey, we just fucked. Hey, I fucked you yesterday. I'll give you a good deal. Time out. I gotta go get fucked again. Whatever the fuck it is, right? Then they're all joking around. It's an interesting thing, right? Sex is just casual, and I guess there's no feelings, right? Because whatever, we've talked about it in these videos. I've been rambling. I'm trying to get to the point of this story. Anyway, so I'm walking around the area, and I see some of the old guys, and I say, hello, what's up? And I'm like, hey, I haven't seen so-and-so. And everybody kind of like looked at me, and they're like, oh, no, he doesn't come around anymore. Trouble. And I'm like, what kind of trouble? Like this kind of trouble? And they're like, eh. And, I've walked around some other days and I still have never seen him. And I'm like, he's still not coming, right? And they've looked at me weird. Like, weird that I would be concerned that something bad happened. Now, certainly, of course, I'm not, knee deep into the that sort of ether of group of, like, regulars that are always banging all these hookers or everything. And maybe the guy has a bad rap even in that area. I don't know, right? But assuming that they were friends, whatever, and the fact that they're just like oh, we're, I guess what I'm getting at is when you think about how friendly, again, Japan is on a certain aspect, but you feel that maybe no one actually really cares about you. And it seems, I get that vibe that, maybe no one really cared about that guy. Maybe no one cares about anybody. Maybe they're not, all those regular dudes that seem to be hanging out there, yeah, they're all hanging out, but they're not actually friends. And so me asking if this guy is okay, they're like, why the fuck do you care? No one's friends here. We're just hanging out. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Like, it just seems strange that guy was, there. I saw him every fucking day. Every time that I would go there, he was there with all these same guys. And it's like, maybe they're just like, maybe he was unpopular. Maybe he's not actually a well-liked person around there. I don't know. I don't know the balls deep situation of everything. My Japanese isn't that good, but I wanted to be something like, I was thinking like, should I like ask a little bit more deeply? Like, my Japanese is pretty bad. I don't even know what I would have said. Something like, yeah, tekkiri minna tomodachi tomotta kedo, yeah, ima sonna kanji janai. You know what I mean? Like, minna kare to nakayoku nai kana. Kono kanji. Yeah, like what's going on? Like, it sounds like it's weird that I even ask if he's okay. It's just kind of, do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. In a way, it makes me think that, again, there's the scary thing is to think that, really, we're all alone in this world. No one is really friends with anybody. This guy, I guess they've all, it's weird to me that, I try to look for, is there good in the world? Do people actually care about each other? And even though on face value, you might think that, Japanese people, they care about people, you know what I mean? The omoyari, the gaman sort of thing. You would think omoyari, that's kind of being empathetic, but being empathetic maybe doesn't mean that you actually truly care about somebody. It doesn't mean that you're actually friends with somebody. And so I guess what I'm getting at is sometimes people say that, it's hard to be friends with a Japanese person. You know what I mean? Because you're not in their actual like bubble. But, I think in a certain way, you could actually say that even a Japanese person to another Japanese person, there's their own bubble too. Japanese people are not necessarily friends with other Japanese people too. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.